would be so fascinating to see if he perceives that there is room for improvement and how he's the leader of the franchise.
Jeff, I think one of the reasons why this situation has generated so much steam is that Eric Burkhart, the agent for Kyler Murray, is playing this card right now on February 28th. Why is that the case?
I don't understand it. And to me, that is the most puzzling component to this, because at the end of that statement, he seems to suggest a little bit of an ultimatum, essentially saying that if this contract doesn't get done, or essentially he's actually backdooring. He's saying, we hope this gets done so that Kyler Murray can continue to succeed, almost implying that he won't play in 2022 if, in fact, he doesn't get the contract. Here's the deal. When Ezekiel Elliott ended up holding out from the Cowboys to get his new deal, he didn't even really hint at it, especially not publicly, until like August. Once the team had made all of their plans and knew they needed to rely on Elliott going into the season, they had no other choice but to pay him. Right. This is before the draft cycle, before free agency. So the Cardinals, if they want to say, all right, we'll match that, find our own leverage, they're going to go out and find another quarterback. And then they'll be able to say to Kyler in August, you don't want to play? We're going to go forward with this guy. And you don't want that either. So to me, I just feel like this might have been a misstep, and we'll find out in the sense that it just came out way too early and killed any leverage that it might have created.
Jeff Darlington, thank you, sir, for saying that, because that is exactly where I am.
You're welcome, Swagu.
Man, what the hell you in last resort for, and we sitting here at the end of February, right before the combine, in a quarterback that's about to go into his fourth year? What are you last resort for? These are the type of things we see when teams have been in a contract dispute with a player for an extended period of time. And then the second thing is, the last time we saw Kyler Murray, he was bad. He was bad. This ain't the type of energy you want going into the season with the Arizona Cardinals, and I get it. Listen, I don't know where the reports came from, the anonymous sources about his leadership. I'll say this. I don't know about Kyler Murray's leadership when it comes to player for player in that locker room. What I do know is I hate his sideline demeanor, okay? I just watched the game the other night with LeBron against the New Orleans Pelicans, and I was killing LeBron for his demeanor. Bro, when you are a leader, especially in this business, my man D. Oden told me this since we started working at ESPN together. The quarterback is the CEO. Yep. He's the guy 24/7. Yep. So everything you do will be scrutinized at a very high rate. The problem with this situation is what Jeff Darlington just said. What the hell are you contract disputing publicly for, and you ain't even reached that point of break point yet? I'm sorry I got that ecstatic, y'all, but this is some foolishness to me.
And Swagu, to take that narrative a step further, when you look at someone like Baker Mayfield, who, look, he's not the same player that Kyler Murray is, but they're former college teammates, who's done everything right. And if Kyler Murray gets rewarded, if I'm Baker Mayfield, I'm taking a long look at that situation saying, hey, maybe I don't go to camp if I don't get a new deal. So a lot of these quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, former MVP, a lot of these quarterbacks are going to see how Kyler Murray is rewarded or not based on this one post, and it'll be interesting to see how they react.
Mike T, I could promise you this. If Baker Mayfield had said that, the guy that's in the top right of my screen right now with the oversized jacket would be absolutely body slamming that dude on television. I have a statement and then a question for Mike T.
Okay.
I think the reality, though, we'd probably all agree with this, is Arizona is in a unique situation because they're not finding anybody better in the next year or two, right? Like, Kyler is, make no mistake about this, Kyler is a tremendous talent. And I believe he's got superstar ability, MVP ability. We just haven't seen it take off. Mike T, I wanted to ask you, because you mentioned having that sit-down face-to-face with Kyler Murray and saying, do you believe you need to become better as a leader, and if so, how? If his answer to you, if you're the general manager, is, you know what, I feel like I'm a good enough leader, would that give you pause then to do an extension? Is that impactful, that conversation for you?
Absolutely. It's a great point, Dan, and here's why. We're looking to create an aura of association. We saw it with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. We clearly see it with Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers. His teammates love him. You know, Matt Stafford, someone you know very well. That team loves each other. They're creating something very special in LA. For us to have sustainable success paying $40, $41 million a year, Kyler Murray is going to have to create an aura association where guys are going to want to play with him. And if he says, hey, it's not on me, it's on everybody else, I would have a massive pause of concern because I don't know if we could build something sustainable despite the fact that I agree with you, he'd be the best player in this year's draft, next year's draft, but I would have a big concern about that.
Well, safe to say that this has been a unique start to the offseason for the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray. Worth noting, by the way, that Kyler Murray shares an agent with Cliff Kingsbury as head coach. So you can imagine, same agent, Eric Burkhart, who also represents Cliff. So some of the conversations taking place in Arizona qualify as the kind you'd love to be a fly on the wall.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.